A new safety concern is growing inside Formula One, and this time it could force the FIA to step in before another serious incident happens. After two frightening failures involving Max Verstappen's Red Bull, one of the most talked about technical innovations of the 2026 season is now under intense scrutiny. And it may not stop here. The device attracting all the attention is the so-called MACARENA rear wing, an active aerodynamic concept designed to reduce drag on the straights. Verstappen's crashes during Austrian Grand Prix qualifying and later at Silverstone were both linked to problems with the rear wing, which Red Bull says remained partially open because of two different technical failures. That immediately raised concerns about whether the system is truly safe under race conditions. This changes everything. Unlike Red Bull, Ferrari has not experienced a single reliability issue with its own version of the rotating rear wing. The Italian team introduced the concept first and has spent months refining the actuator and calibration system. According to the available information, Ferrari's wing meets the FIA's mandatory closing time of 400 milliseconds while remaining structurally reliable throughout race weekends. The FIA is now carefully examining both designs. Meetings have already been scheduled with Ferrari and Red Bull engineers to understand exactly what happened and determine whether further action is necessary. That's the real issue. While both teams use rotating rear wings, the governing body wants to know if the Red Bull failures expose a broader safety risk or if the problem is isolated to one specific design. Ferrari remains confident because its system has performed without failures so far. The team has no intention of giving up the competitive advantage created by a concept it pioneered, especially since its solution differs significantly from Red Bull's in both structure and operation. Meanwhile, Red Bull faces increasing pressure to prove its version is safe before another malfunction puts Verstappen or other drivers at risk. If Verstappen's rear wing truly failed to close before both incidents, that creates a much bigger concern than simple performance. It suggests the system may not have complied with the FIA regulation requiring the wing to return to its normal position within 400 milliseconds. At this point, this is no longer just about performance. It becomes a question of driver safety, and the FIA cannot ignore that. The regulations already give race officials the authority to ban any car they consider dangerous if new evidence appears during an event. Importantly, the FIA does not need to outlaw the entire rotating wing concept. If Ferrari's version continues to operate safely while Red Bull's does not, the governing body could target only Red Bull's solution without affecting similar systems developed by other teams. Red Bull must now convince the FIA that its rear wing can operate safely before returning to competition, while Ferrari watches closely as its own innovation remains under the spotlight for very different reasons. The next decision from the FIA could shape not only the remainder of the 2026 season, but also the future of active aerodynamics in Formula One. What's your take on this situation? Share your opinion below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Formula One updates.